In April of 2011, a user by the name of Ivan started a YouTube channel and he uploaded what he said to believe some KGB document files of alleged UFOs. In those video clips, he actually has video clips of UFOs flying around, or at least a UFO flying around, which you see there. He has this same craft flying over a city. And then other videos he uploaded was this UFO either crashing or actually landing, but it actually shows alien bodies. Other video clips include an autopsy. And then we get to the Skinny Bob video. This is kind of what got everybody talking about this. In the Skinny Bob video, it shows what is considered the modern gray or Evian alien, and it shows kind of a close-up of him. And then he has actual video footage of these particular beings walking around. Now with this video, I'm going to show you guys a site that actually talks about this and actually breaks it down pretty good. So there's going to be a link below in the description, but I'm going to go through a couple of things on the site because it's actually very important. I personally believe in the Skinny Bob video. I don't know about the rest of the information. They say if I believe in half of it but not the other half, it's a complete lie. But I want to at least show this to you guys and get your opinion on it. So give me just a second. I'm going to get this site loaded up and I'm going to show this to you. So in this website, as you guys see here, it says we present a detailed analysis of alleged UFO and alien footage. This time it's not about lights or lights in the sky or blah, blah, blah. They just go on to talk about that. But they're actually going in on this site and looking at just about every detail of that video and then talking about particular things with it. So, for instance, it says here, you know, the status, the answer to the big question if we are investigating something authentic or elaborate hoax is still unknown. So that's a good thing that they're pointing out that it's still unknown, because it actually really is. It's been kind of hard to debunk, because I know there's several YouTube channels trying to debunk this and this and that, but this website actually sums up some of this information that they put out there about it. So that video, according to this, has been out for 12 years, 177 days, 22 hours, and 27 minutes. Now, a lot of this information in here is coming from Reddit, when Reddit users saw it and they were trying to go in, some saying it was authentic, some didn't. But you guys see there, this is a lot of this information is coming from, you know, the community post Skinny Bob on Reddit. So you guys can always check that out. And there's links into here too as well. But if you guys are not familiar with this, the video, as it says here, and they're pretty accurate with this, was uploaded to the YouTube channel named Ivan 10135 in 2011, which is 12 years ago as of today. And you guys saw that timestamp earlier. It says here the channel was created the same day the first video was uploaded, on the 13th of April. According to the channel description, the creator is from Russia and was born in 1969. Let's say if you guys haven't seen it, you saw some of those video clips at the very beginning. I'll try to put a link down below in the description, because I have a couple of things on my channel where you can see the entire video. So you'll see that. I'll probably have a pop-up too where you can see that as well. But this site goes into breaking down that video. And for those of you guys who actually like to look at information and stuff, you can see it. And I'm not sure if you can actually contact these people to kind of give your 2 cents into it. But they talk about several things. Like, for instance, you guys see this image here. It's actually a photo, or it's actually a video of what appears to be a disc-shaped craft flying over a house. And then later down in the website, I'll show you a couple things. They go to talk about some computer graphics and how this actually could have been replicated, and then kind of the screen, I guess, overlay they used to kind of get that old film effect for it. Now, why in the original video he had a film strip playing in the background, because that did kind of take away from the video, in my opinion, being authentic, I don't know. But they talk about that also in here. If you scroll down, they talk about other things as far as the second video, which is apparently a gray extraterrestrial, Zeta Rector UFO leaked footage. And then this is where you actually see where the actual Bob character is kind of sitting there blinking and looking around and stuff. You can't see inside his eyes. Some people have tried to analyze this, and some people have said that a puppet can't do this, especially if they created one in the 40s. We know that. But even if this was created in 2011 and someone used a puppet, it'd be kind of hard to create it. But I've always said they move kind of weird, and we don't know how these creatures, if they are real, how they'll move. And then we also don't know if they're actually androids, because Dr. Stephen Greer did a disclosure earlier this year. I think it was June 2023. And he talked about a particular person seeing one of these beings, and he actually walked up to it and kicked it over, which I thought was pretty interesting. And when he kicked it open, it had like circuits in it. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. Guys, before we actually continue on, I actually want you guys to hear this. This is actually from his disclosure project.
And when he tried to leave that command, where there was a fake, what's called a programmed life form alien, these have been used in what you hear in the fabled lore of abductions and stuff in the UFO lore. This is actually a man-made creature, but it's not living per se. It has a covering the skin like. It tried to take him with one of these ARVs in command, and some people camouflaged in the ground near his truck. After he got out of this command, he was disgusted with what was happening. He no longer wanted to be part of that project, but they weren't happy he left. I told him, it's a miracle that you lived to tell this tale. And so what happened is that his pickup truck went into sort of complete lock, motor died because of this man-made UAP. He opened the door because he saw this creature, which he thought was an alien. It's not. And he hit it, it fell, he kicked it, and it split open this outer, and he saw the integrated circuits and fiber optics and what have you. This man I've dealt with quite a bit. He was ready to come to the aero skiff. He had a nasty encounter with people who threatened him directly. This is recent. And so we have not been able to bring him to the Aero Pentagon briefing.
But anyway, they go in to try to break that down, and then he talks about some other videos that he loaded there. I'm not going to try to go through this whole entire site. I would like to go live at some point in time. I'm getting some live software set up to actually go over the site. This is probably going to be the first thing I go over, but I did want to at least give this to you guys so you can take a look at it and maybe come up with some questions or put them down in the comments below. Then he goes into, of course, there are several videos listed or uploaded, and this is going to be the 4th video. And then he talks about the video track starts with text paragraphs about historic events, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes in to talk about how that was actually being broke down. And then later down in the website, he's talking about some of the visual effects. And it says here, the very first video I have uploaded starts with an image showing the insignia of the KGB, the main security agent of the Soviet Union. You know, above and below are black bars simulating censored, blah, 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 et cetera, which I didn't pay too much attention to that. It says, it turns out this still image was taken from a documentary. So that debunks that right there, that was taken from that, released in 1998. It featured a crashed UFO and autopsy of an alien body. I would click on that, but I think if I click on that, it may completely take me off of here. But let's see real quick. Let's see if we can do this. The secret KGB UFO file. So there it is right there. So he's saying this is taken from that particular movie, which kind of discredits that person if that happened with that. You see here, as a byproduct of aligning the 3D model with the video, we can get an estimate of the path that the camera traveled and thus a rough shape of the street or railroad track. So he's actually, like I said, going in and breaking this stuff down, which I'm glad somebody did instead of just a video on YouTube and people saying I'm an expert, this is fake, and that. So like I said, I'll put a link below in the description. I'm trying to find one other item on here before I end this, but I think I'm probably going to go live on this. I think it'd be good to go live and discuss this site with you guys and go through a couple of things on here so that we can look at this. And there was one other piece of this right here. This is of course, the piece where the UFO was flying, and then he tried to do some stabilization on it there. And then there's kind of still captures of it and stuff. There was one on here I believe I saw where he had, 3D imagery. He talks about a lot, but guys, if you can, go over here and check this site out. I think this is actually pretty interesting, and this is something that people may want to look at and look at what they say. Like I said, I haven't had a lot of time to look at this, but I was checking it out, and I was going to just send it over to you guys. Like, this is part of one of the survivor aliens right there, and that just doesn't look too real to me. The first impression of the alien being suffers from a bad lighting conditions, which it is, and they identify the elements in the background as hard due to the bad imagery, of course, so they did make that kind of difficult to see. But he goes in and he tries to break some of this stuff down. And here's one of the aliens kind of laying on the ground. I probably shouldn't be laughing if it's real, but it just doesn't seem too authentic. And that's apparently the UFO that they were in that crashed. But that doesn't seem to be too likely to me to be true, because it's kind of sitting up there. It looked like his eyes were open. And scroll down here a little bit more with a couple of things with this. So he does a good breakdown, guys. So I probably am going to go live with this and try to show this to you guys. He even talks about the skinny bob and the structure of his body and things and that such. And I actually didn't know this website had this much detailed information in it. So I'm not going to drag this out. Go ahead and put your comments down below, and I think I'm going to go live on this within a couple of days. I'll let you guys know. I'll probably put in the community post, and then we'll try to go live from there. So as always, guys, put your comments down below what you think about this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. I appreciate you guys watching.